Yes, my dear friend, welcome back to the channel. This is Salon's Blood, beautiful Tuesday afternoon here in Southeast Asia, Malaysia to be precise, wherever you are on the globe, especially on the continent of Africa, in Europe and America, Canada, or right here in Asia with me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this hot afternoon edition, Salon's Blog, and we are starting right away because we have so much to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a little bit on Conor Gallagher, a little on João Felix, little on Romelu Lukaku, and then we will conclude with Victor Osimhen. Now, let's get started. It's all about Chelsea and Chelsea Football Club. Well, how many days more to our first game against Manchester City? It will interest you to note the referee that will be in charge of Chelsea Man City, our first EPL game for the season 2024-2025 season. Referee Anthony Taylor will take charge of Chelsea's Premier League clash against Man City. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what crime Chelsea Football Club committed. Every time referees were given to Chelsea in games like this, it's always been Anthony Taylor. He never favors Chelsea in any business. Anthony Taylor never favors Chelsea in any game. He's always there to show that he is not a Chelsea fan. He's always there to play it against Chelsea. That is what we Chelsea fans will know. Be it at Stamford Bridge or an away game, referee Anthony Taylor will be the man at the center of the field on that day. Ladies and gentlemen, well, we can't say much more and there is nothing we can do. No matter how much more we want to talk, Chelsea fans will be talking about this not from today. Yet, it's still the same. And the man that will be on the VAR, yes, VAR, video assistant referee, the man that will be sitting right there, that will be in charge of the VAR at Stamford Bridge is referee Michael Salisbury. Salisbury will be the one in charge. Anthony Taylor will be at the center of the field. Michael Salisbury will be the one at the VAR room, in charge of the VAR. So anything that happens that day between Chelsea and Manchester City, it is these two men that will be making the calls. Yes, Anthony Taylor at the center of the field, Michael Salisbury in the VAR room. Well, as it stands, Chelsea will have to play the game and win it clear. No matter what the referees will do, we will have to work it out ourselves. It's in our hand, ladies and gentlemen. All right. To some other important news, issues that came up throughout yesterday that we've been discussing for the past 24 hours. Conor Gallagher, Samu Omorodion, João Felix, Atletico Madrid, and Chelsea. Ladies and gentlemen, Samu Omorodion's deal has been called off. Now we are left with Conor Gallagher. As we speak, Conor Gallagher has been instructed to return to England. I'm not too sure if he has already arrived, but there is some news around the clock. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, as revealed last night, Chelsea want Conor Gallagher to return to London today if Atletico can't get the deal signed. Negotiations continued. Deal still on, and João Felix talks also ongoing. João Felix talks also ongoing. Deal still on, exclusively, and this was revealed by Fabrizio Romano. Yes. Now, he continued, and the earlier news that came earlier today was that Chelsea see all deals as separate. The deal about Conor Gallagher and João Felix, Chelsea sees those deals as separate. João Felix too was offered on Sunday to Chelsea, and does still remain open for Gallagher to join Athletic after the medical done. Up to all parties involved now to seal the deal for Conor Gallagher. It is a choice. Right now, Atletico Madrid really want Chelsea to buy João Felix. Then they will also sign Conor Gallagher deal. But then, the reality of the matter is, these discussions of Atletico Madrid and Chelsea took place several days ago. And the agreement was Samu Omorodion for 34 million, Conor Gallagher for 36 million. Now, if Samu Omorodion deal is off, and Atletico are offering another player that is quite higher, the amount is quite higher than what Chelsea budgeted for. Ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea currently are offering 65 million euro for Atletico for João Felix. But then, the offer is said that part payment to be made now, balance paid later. Chelsea offered 65 million to Atletico for João Felix, 35 million to be paid now, 30 million to be paid later. And this is where Atletico Madrid are trying to drag the matter with Chelsea on. Chelsea says, no, our budget right now for Samu Omorodion is what we can pay right now. The balance, if you are insisting that we will have to pay the full release clause for João Felix, then we will have to defer part of the payment. We will pay 35 million euro right now, which will be about 30 million pounds. Then we'll pay 30 million, maybe on installment on a later date. This is what is holding the deal right now as we speak. And there is another news from another source that indicated that Chelsea is willing to pay 40 million pounds. 40 million pounds, which is far below the expectation of Atletico. Atletico are asking for 50 million plus, but Chelsea are offering 40 million pounds if they are to pay in full cash. Ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. It is what it is. Chelsea retains a keen interest in the deal. It is not yet over when it comes to João Felix, Chelsea, and Atletico Madrid, Conor Gallagher. Now, if anything will go on at all, within the next hours, within the next 24 hours, these deals will have to be agreed upon. Otherwise, it will be called off. Otherwise, these deals will be called off. Ladies and gentlemen, as we speak, Atletico Madrid deal with Conor Gallagher still not totally off. But Atletico need an outgoing to complete it. They need a player to leave Atletico in order to seal the deal with Conor Gallagher. Gallagher has done all formalities, but is waiting on Atletico to finalize it. Chelsea still expect Gallagher's future to be resolved before the window shuts, whether to Atletico or elsewhere. Whether to Atletico Madrid or to elsewhere. Ladies and gentlemen, all options are on the table right now for Conor Gallagher. Even the 2+1 deal that was presented to him earlier on, the 2+1 offer that Chelsea presented to Conor Gallagher earlier on last week for the extension of his contract with Chelsea to remain and be a bench player, a team player, right? That could also be revisited if all other options failed. So Gallagher, as it stands, is still Chelsea player. Ladies and gentlemen, all right. And quickly, before I go to the most important news that you have been waiting for, that is on Victor Osimhen. Breaking news. Yes. The hearing into Manchester City's 115 FFP charges is set to begin in September, with a verdict expected in early 2025. Verdict expected in early 2025. Manchester City's charges of 115 charges against them. Look, City might find themselves in a relegation if care is not given or care is not taken. 115, ladies and gentlemen, and that ruling will begin in September, ladies and gentlemen, and it's expected to end in early 2015. All right? Okay. Okay. All right. You see, let's now move on to Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen. The latest news, which was delivered just about 27 minutes ago, the latest news on Victor Osimhen, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea retains a keen interest in Victor Osimhen and will move for him if a deal is considered viable. If a deal is considered viable, talks so far are about a loan with an option to buy. Chelsea are maintaining loan with an option to buy with Victor Osimhen. Ladies and gentlemen, it's complicated. It is a complicated negotiation and tied to Romelu Lukaku. The deal is a complicated one, but it is tied to Romelu Lukaku's deal. Now, if Chelsea will possibly get Victor Osimhen in the next weeks or the next days, then Romelu Lukaku deal will have to go through first. According to sources, according to the Athletic. If Chelsea can get Romelu Lukaku deal settled with Napoli now, it will pave the way for Victor Osimhen deal or transaction to take place. Both are connected. They are tied to each other. Both clubs don't want to soften their stance on their players. Chelsea are asking for 38 million for Romelu Lukaku from Napoli. Napoli also presented their price for Victor Osimhen. Napoli offered earlier this morning, we heard the news, 25 million euro plus 5 million add-ons for Romelu Lukaku, their first offer. We are yet to hear Chelsea's offer for Victor Osimhen. All that we know and understand is that the player has already tendered in a letter that he wants to leave. In fact, even without that, it is already part of the agreement from last season that this season, this transfer window, summer transfer window, Napoli will let Victor Osimhen leave. They will have to let him go. He agreed to their terms last season to stay for another year with an improved contract. So that agreement is still in place, and this is where Napoli will have no choice. As we speak, Napoli knows very well that they have no choice than to let Victor Osimhen leave before the transfer window shut. Before the transfer window shut. And this is where Chelsea are taking Napoli on from. They know very well that no matter what happens, this deal will surely go through by the end of the day, by the end of the transfer window, because that agreement with Victor Osimhen is binding. And the player is willing, has given his word to Chelsea. As we speak, it is no longer an issue that Napoli can say, no, we are not selling this season. And that is the reason why Napoli really want a replacement in Romelu Lukaku. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said earlier on, it is complicated negotiations. It is a complicated negotiation. And it is also tied to Romelu Lukaku. Ladies and gentlemen, it is what it is. It is still hot afternoon. By this time, it's still very early in Europe. I believe by the time we will come back with our last special edition, there should be more news on Victor Osimhen, Conor Gallagher, and João Felix. We're hoping that there will be a breakthrough. For those of you that kept asking, what is happening about Victor Osimhen? What is happening about Victor Osimhen? It is what it is. It is a complicated deal to strike right now. And if care is not taken, legal documents of contracts are not easy to prepare. So everything has to be sorted out. Then only we will hear good news on it. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, let me give some shout outs. And I will let you go. My goodness, do I have it ready? I don't think I have my shout outs ready here. So I'll have to come back in my next special episode with big shout out to all of you. But hey, wherever you are in France, in Italy, Russia, in Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, Senegal, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Uganda, Kenya, anywhere you are around the globe. And even here in Southeast Asia, Malaysia to be precise. Ladies and gentlemen, big shout out to you guys all out there. I will see you guys when you see me in the next one. Shalom and peace.